BCA 101, Introduction to Computers and Information Systems. We're down to the last section here. We're going to talk about, we talked previously about e-commerce. We have customer to customer. We talked about customer to business. We talked about business to business. And this is huge in terms of how we transfer money, not only individually throughout the world, transferring funds from one account to another, debit cards, credit cards, and all that, but a huge amount of money being transferred business to business in terms, or even governments exchanging money. And we all know there are issues dealing with money being transferred electronically. Managing PIN numbers, debit cards, credit cards, how they function, and how the whole industry works. We can cover more details of that as we finish up. So the last thing I want to mention here is artificial intelligence, the ability of a computer to simulate thought process. We've all maybe have heard or seen the idea of robots, using robots to do tasks that otherwise we don't want to do as humans, like cleaning up nuclear waste or looking for landmines, or they used them in Japan to go into the nuclear plant. There's lots of places. Robots to do tedious tasks, like things on assembly line. Robots to do tasks that are difficult for humans to do, like some robotics are being used in surgery, where the doctor actually runs the robot, and the robot can do some of the surgery things in which you need a very fine line between, damaging something or not. Robots can do tasks like paint cars, and there's a whole world of robotics. Everywhere from robots being extremely small to being extremely large. The next thing we want to talk about are expert systems. We've talked about the decision-making process. Okay, we talked about having this large amount of data and taking that and creating information out of it. So we have data in a database management system, and we pull out data. We do a query to the database, and then it produces some form of information. Hopefully information that has some meaning to us. We look up a certain part for our car on the internet. So we do a query, and it comes up with information, all those different parts we need. An expert system works differently. An expert system has a knowledge base. So what we do is we create a knowledge base. We put knowledge in to an expert system from experts. Okay? And then when we're looking for the solution to something, the expert system, this is completely backwards, the knowledge base, the expert system will query us as a user with a question. A great example would be a doctor. A doctor will ask you questions about what's bothering you, okay, or what's wrong, or they'll do tests, okay. So the knowledge base queries the user, and then based on the user's answers, the knowledge base follows some rules. If your temperature is over a certain amount, then there's some rule that talks about what might be wrong with you. If you have a certain blood count, then there might be some rule what's wrong with you. If your car won't start and somebody says, well, does the car make some noise? Then you may say, yes, I turn the key and I can hear the engine turning and turning and turning. So one of the rules would be then your battery's not dead because it's actually causing the car to, the engine to turn over. What manages the whole thing is an inference engine. So as we gather knowledge bases of experts who are really good at things, we can build these knowledge bases, and then from there we can create the rules, and then we have software, an inference engine, that allows us for this to work. And that is just one part of artificial intelligence. All right, we'll talk a little bit about the future in the future. That's it for today.